Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fizul bin Kaharudin. I am from class SR2434A. So our group have choose one movie, which is the Ford vs Ferrari. So now I will present about the synopsis of the movie. So basically, Ford vs Ferrari is the movie that directed by James Mangold. It is based on the true story. So in this movie, it talk about the famous American automotive car designer, which is the Carroll Shelby, and the British race car driver, Ken Myers. So in this movie, these two people need to build a super fast car for the Ford company. So they need to build a super fast car for the Ford company to compete during the Le Mans tournament. So basically in the Le Mans tournament, there is one of the greatest car company, which is the Ferrari team. So Ferrari team has win about 5 times during the Le Mans tournament. So they need to build a fast car to beat the Ferrari. So their company well known among the people.
But they do not want to drive the same dull 50s cars that their parents drove. You see, kids today, they want glamour. They want a sex appeal. They want to go fast. Gentlemen, it's time for the Ford Motor.
As a constructor, as a man, as an Italian, is deeply insulted by your proposal.
Tornatevene in Michigan.
Go back to Michigan.
Tornate alla vostra grossa, brutta fabbrica.
Back to your big, ugly
A
factory.
costruire le vostre brutte, insignificanti
Back to your big,
macchine.
ugly factory making its ugly little cars.
E dite a quel porco del vostro padrone che i suoi arroganti dirigenti sono solo una massa di figli di puttana da 4 soldi.
Tell your pig-headed boss that all his smug executives are worthless sons of whores.
Further back, he's saying he's travelled that little bit further, so he's won and not 10.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Shell, hold on. Where's the tie? Hey. Where's the goddamn tie? What? Oh, you son of a bitch. You knew.
What was the first thing that they did? They had sex. 17 years later, those babies, they've grown. They've got jobs. They've got licenses. But they do not want to drive the same dull 50s cars that their parents drove. You see, kids today, they want glamour. They want a sex appeal. They want to go fast. Gentlemen, it's time for the Ford Motor Company to go racing.
We're already in racing, Iacocca.
NASCAR, it's regional, sir. If you go to the movies, you open up a magazine, you don't see good old boys in Winston-Salem. You see Sophia Loren, Monica Vitti. James Bond does not drive a Ford, sir.
That's because he's a degenerate. See?
God, I'd like to be a degenerate.
Just give me 1 second here,
Is
sir.
this part of it?
This guy?
This way, Mr. Shelby.
Mr. Ford, gentlemen.
Shelby.
Give me one reason why I don't fire everyone associated with this abomination, starting with you.
Well, sir, I was thinking about that very question as a...
Between us can just be chalked up to natural red-bloodedness in the heat of battle.
Oh, well, I appreciate that, Leo. Truly, I do.
Falls on me, Shelby, to inform you that I have been appointed overall executive director of the racing program. Now, I do hope that this won't be a problem between us.
Well, I assure you, Leo, it will not.
Hey, Carol? Carol!
And what is that top speed with the...
Okay, next we will go to the critical incident that have in Ford versus Ferrari. Okay, we will go to the critical incident 1, which is smoking. Okay, for the first scene in Ford versus Ferrari movie, it shows that one of the Ford Motor Company executive manager smoking a cigarette in a meeting room during official meeting session, which is an appropriate behavior when doing smoking in the meeting room. Okay, what is the effect when you smoking? Okay, this shows disrespectful and unprofessional attitude during official company meeting to the other coworker and to the person who are present in front during the meeting. Okay, next we will go to the recommendation. Okay, for the executive manager who is smoking, he need to show a good attitude and responsible, also polite to their subordinate in order to make company meeting more formal. Okay, as we know that meeting is a formal thing for the every workers, so they need to show or professional or a good behavior during the meeting. Okay, next we will go to the second critical incident, which is abusive language. Okay, for the second scene in Ford vs Ferrari movie, it shows that Ferrari founder, which is Enzo Ferrari, used bad and abusive language to the Jengka and his co-worker during meeting for Ford being a partnership for Ferrari. Okay, so what is the effect after that? Okay, the effect that Enzo Ferrari embraced Ford Motor Company and insulting Henry Ford leadership credibility. It also the main start hostility between Ford and Ferrari company. Okay, next the recommendation. Okay, for the recommendation, Mr. Enzo Ferrari, which is founder of Ferrari, can use a proper word or talk if he or talk smoothly if he don't agree with terms and conditions in the partnership contract without using a bad and abusive language to the Ford company. Okay, he also can sit and discuss again politely with Lee Iacocca. Okay, the use of improper or abusive language make the person or the workers in the company seems not professional and not respect the delegates from the Ford Motor Company. When you use a bad language, it shows unprofessional to the other person, so it will make harder for them to make or become partnership. Okay, next we proceed to the third critical incident, which is fight with co-worker. Okay. For the third scene in Ford vs Ferrari movie, okay, it shows that Carroll Shelby have a fight with Ford Motor Company CEO, which is Leo Bebe, at Crowd Place after finish 24 hours Le Mans race event due to organized race result. Okay, what is the effect after the fight with the co-worker? Okay, so the Ken Miles, who is the champion, had been changed with McLaren to second place, and this result made Carroll Shelby ball up with Lee Bebe. Okay, so the recommendation for this, okay, Carroll Shelby can discuss this issue properly with Lee Bebe at the close place to hide the internal issues in Ford Motor Racing team in order to avoid this problem spread and lead to the negative talk among others racing team, which is it will make the image become bad to the other.
Okay, next for the fourth scene. So in this fourth scene is about the positive vibe. So as we can see, it is about the Lee Iacocca giving a good opinion to the company, to his team. So I want to share you about the synopsis. In the fourth scene, Lee Iacocca have give a good presentation about what should Ford Motor do in their future. So he has present well with his presentation, and it has made a big impact to the company. So what is the big impact? He has give some suggestion during his presentation. He have suggest Ford Henry to build a fastest car and compete during the Le Mans race. It's because Le Mans race is a popular tournament. So by winning the Le Mans race, it could make other people attract with the Ford company car. Okay, the effect of the scene is Ford Henry 2 start to looking a best engineer and the best driver to start the move by make a Ford Motor team is the best company. Next for the recommendation, I suggest Lee Iacocca should prepare properly about his presentation. So as we can see, his projector have a bit problem. So I recommend he should prepare well before he want to present to the others. Next, in the fifth critical incident is about not invited the guests for sitting. So the synopsis of this scene is Carroll Shelby was invited by Henry Ford too for the meeting. But when the Carroll Shelby enter the room meeting, we can see Henry Ford did not invite Carroll Shelby to sit. So this show that Henry Ford did not give some respect to the Carroll Shelby. So the effect of this scene, we can see Ken Miles still not Leo Bebe. Who is Leo Bebe? Leo Bebe is the senior executive of Ford team. So, he is still not a favorite driver. Ken Miles still not a favorite driver of the Leo Bebe when the postmortem had been done. So my recommendation, Henry Ford 2 should give some respect to the guests by meeting or facing each other during talking. So by show this attitude, it could solve the problem with successfully. So now is the last part of the critical incident, which is it show about the negative vibe in the workplace. The thing is about the lock the co-worker. Okay, the synopsis of the scene is Carol Shelby locked the Leo BB, which is the senior executive of Ford Motor Team, in his office. The purpose of Carol Shelby lock the Leo BB is he want to make the Henry Ford 2 to be in the racing car. So by doing that, he want to make the Henry Ford 2 know that the driver of the racing car will playing an important role during the racing car event. So the effect of this scene, Leo BB become angry and he started to broke the door mirror to escape. And the Leo BB tried to take the revenge at the Lehman's event. So my recommendation is Carol Shelby should discuss properly with the Leo BB about the driver issue. So by discuss properly, the future of the Ford Motor Team could be safe and they could win the race event.
For the conclusion that we got from this movie, which is Ford versus Ferrari movie. Okay, there are many good and bad example of behavior that we can learn in this movie. For the good behavior, we can follow it in order to improve ourselves. Okay, while for the bad, we must avoid it. Okay, even though there are some scenes that have been critiqued, but it still give a good impact or feedback to the viewer. Okay, what we can learn also in this movie, it shows that it is very good as it can give us a good example of friendship. I am proud to be a native, to make a country proud.